women through education, raising awareness, literacy, and their training is a secret of a nation's success. Few women who have broken the glass ceiling in the forces in India. Flight Officer Gunjan Saxena of the Kargil fame, Lieutenant General Dr. Madhuri Kantinkar, Dr. Seema Rao, India's first woman commando trainer, Lieutenant Lalji, a young intelligent officer, created history by becoming the first woman to be appointed as the key aide to an Indian commander officer. Flight Lieutenant Nivedita Chaudhary, and many more. But India has still miles to go, as that all girls and women who have the potential and skill can get a level playing field to excel. Our 60th episode is very special. I'm delighted and honored today to have the First Lady on the show, Inspector General Police Himachal Pradesh, Mrs. Punita Bhardwaj, logging in from Simla, Himachal. Mrs. Punita Bhardwaj joined services as Deputy Superintendent of Police in Simla District in 1987. Many firsts to her credit. She was the first woman police officer of HP. As then they say, the rest is history. Her work has recognized by Charles Sturt University of Australia. She has worked in the United Nations peacekeeping missions twice. Once in Bosnia-Herzegovina and in East Timor, where she worked in the field of gender mainstream of Timorese policewomen. She presented her work at the Conference of International Association for Women in Police in Seattle, USA. She was awarded the Police Medal for Meritorious Service in 2011. And yesterday, on the eve of 74th Independence Day of India, ladies and gentlemen, she has been awarded the President's Police Medal for Distinguished Services. Join me in welcoming Mrs. Punita Bhardwaj, IG Police, Himachal Pradesh. A very hearty, warm welcome to the show, Insights with Nidhi Verma. I cannot tell you how happy I am today, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Nidhi. It is a pleasure to be with you. Thank you so much.
First of all, ma'am, we want to thank you for being the front warrior since you represent the police department. You have been serving us in the pandemic while all of us have been warm and safe at our homes. So we salute you from all our side, the entire force. Ma'am, what is the criteria that the President Medal is awarded and you have been chosen as the one? Share with our viewers, because all of us may not be really relevant and known of what happens when a police officer is chosen for such honors.
Nidhi, this is basically you need to have an unblemished career, and you need to have shown initiative and to have done some good work. And another important criteria for this is to have been awarded with the Medal for Meritorious Service. It's only after that you become eligible for this Medal for Distinguished Services. So it is a long process that one goes through. There are, sifting of it at each level, first in the police department itself, then in the government, and then it goes to the Ministry of Home Affairs. And there's a select committee who decides on, they scrutinize everyone's applications or everyone's nominations. And it is only after that people are chosen for this medal.
Kudos to you, ma'am, there. I'm from Himachal, I'm from Simla, and I know how difficult it was to convince my parents when I had to be sent to the Regional Engineering College outside Simla. How did you convince your family at that time to follow such a distinguished and different career?
Frankly speaking, Nidhi, I had very forward-looking parents. So this question actually did not arise in my family. And it did come in through other people. They kept asking me, has your family not told you not to join this service? It was the other way around, because people from outside were asking me. My parents had said that now you have got it, the decision is yours. If you want to go ahead with it, you must do it. And if you feel confident, go ahead, there's no stopping you. So, and you see, every time I would be asked this question, that how do you find it's a totally man's world, and what are you going to do about it? So initially when I had joined, there was a colleague of mine, and he said something which really struck me as being very good. And what he said was that we feel encouraged that a lady has joined the police department, and we also are very happy about it, that our department is good, that even a lady can join. So I found this very inspiring. It was a very small comment, but it made a lot of sense. And since then, there's been no looking back.
Ma'am, you married in 1990 and you have a lovely daughter, Soumya, who is again from Tara Hall and has studied in Pune. The basic question again, how do you manage such a demanding career, 24 hours, 7 days a week, and your home?
Nidhi, well, you see, we are a family. Whether it is the police, that is also a family. My job is also my family. And my family, of course, is my family. So I've had the support of my husband and my daughter in this regard. And what I have done is actually, I've always tried to uh, decide, what is more important today. If it is my job, well, then I give the home a little go by. But when there are times when there are leaner periods in work, then I try and devote as much time to my family as possible, because I know my job is so uncertain that whatever I get, I grab it and take that time for my family. So I've been trying to do that balancing act that way. And of course, I've got the support of my family in this.
Absolutely, ma'am. And such a beautiful thing to say, which is such an ideal for all our working women, that my work is also my family. How beautiful. I think that is the pillar of your success, ma'am. A very salient feature, but a huge learning for all of us. Ma'am, being from Himachal myself, I know the terrain is very difficult. Simla is still okay, but if you go to the higher, rural areas, it is inaccessible, snow, the twining roads and the landslides. How does your department manage to reach to the corners for the right information and the right action to be taken in time?
Well, Nidhi, it's long gone. It's a thing of the past when connectivity was very poor in Himachal. Though yes, the terrain is very difficult, but we have good connectivity now, and our people are posted in most remote areas as well. So getting across to the common man, even in those remote areas, is not too much of a problem. And our communication system, whether it is through the telephones, now you have mobiles, you have the internet, but our own system is also there, which we call the wireless system. You must have seen cops walking with that and talking into it. So that is a very effective system we still have in place, and we do our communication through that. And it is protected and secure, so we can really get across our messages there. And yes, mobility has also, along with the communication, mobility has also improved over the years. And Himachal is a good state to have a very good network of roads. So that is not an issue now.
Wonderful. Ma'am, you brought this into my memory. My first job after my MBA was with a company where we used to have these Kenwood radios, the wireless sets in Chandigarh. And
Right.
what we used to do is, when we never used to get the tickets for all these shows, we used to keep our radios on and walk in as if we are one part of the security and get through. Okay. Ma'am, during this pandemic, have you noticed that the number of crimes have increased because of the change of the behavior of people in the unprecedented situations? Have you seen a rise in that in Himachal also, though that's a very peaceful state?
Uh, Relatively speaking, Himachal is a peaceful state. We do not have that much crime as in the other states. But yes, the pandemic has brought out two issues that we need to deal with, particularly in the field of cybercrime, because you are not allowed to move out physically. So most of the communication is through your net. Your buying, selling, everything is through the net. So there, cybercrime has increased quite a bit, which includes not only financial frauds or cheating, but it also includes, stalking of girls or of teenagers, and something which would be in the dark net. So yes, that has definitely increased, and we are trying to find methods to now attack that part of the crime situation. And besides that, we have also noticed that as far as I won't call it domestic violence in Himachal, I'd rather say it is domestic dispute. Cases of domestic dispute have also risen in the past. Maybe people have been thrown against each other, onto each other, and then they don't know how to handle their affairs. So people are having difficulty in some on those fronts as well.
Okay, thanks for sharing that, ma'am. Ma'am, I have to ask you this question. We all respect the police and we see them as our saviors, our protectors. But somewhere deep in the subconscious mind, we have this fear that, avoid the going to the police as far as possible. If I take my own example, coming from a small town alone in a city like Bombay, have been here for 20 years now. um, there have been, there may be issues for women like me where they feel that powerful people are kind of, blackmailing them or threatening them. And then because we don't have a close family close by, and there may be very severe situations, still going to the police because we feel that they may be the powerful people may kind of, bias them, we do not go. How is it that, this fear and this can be taken away so that we do not have to live in this kind of suppression and fear?
Well, Nidhi, I will put it like that the police is also actually part of the society. All policemen come from the very society that everyone else is living in. So we are actually just like the rest of the people. And unfortunately, it is the negative that is publicized more than the positives. We have very good role models in the police, and you'll be surprised the kind of things people do. You're talking of Himachal as a very difficult terrain. I'll tell you, there was a pregnant lady whom my policemen carried for 15 kilometers in the snow, and they got her to the hospital. So that was, a very good Samaritan who was working. So it is very unfortunate that it is only the negative that gets shown to the world. It is not that at all. And we are also part of the society, and one is as welcome to come to the police station as anyone, as you would feel comfortable in any other department. Another thing that is, in order to do away with this negativity, this image that we have created, we have also put into place several uh, acts together in the department where we are trying to build up community policing through our various schemes that we have something called the Samarthya Yojana. In this, what we do is we send our own police people to various schools, and we teach girls the art of unarmed combat. So that is to help them learn and to fight it out in society if they have to. Plus, it also gives them an opportunity to meet with our people and to know what police people are exactly, what policemen or women are actually. So once they start interacting, then you are able to bridge that gap which has been created in society. We have several other also schemes also, like something which we called the Sanrakshan Yojana. In that, what we do is we send our police constables to people whom we know in the locality are living alone. They may be aged, their children are not here, or they're living alone by choice. So we go to them and we talk to them. They may be having some bills to be paid. They may be wanting to get some other errands to be done. Our policemen do it for them.
Really?
So that also tries to bridge the gap between the society and the policemen. So we have various things going on, and we hope that the image of the police will see a sea change and will be considered as good, if not better than others.
No, ma'am, I think we are not aware about all these, these programs that you're running. We absolutely are unaware. I think they need to be brought more to light.
Yes.
Ma'am, one tactical question comes to my mind and I'm speaking to you that suppose, the people who, a lot of people, they migrate to bigger cities in look for jobs or making them career. And they come across some situation where, they need to go to the police. So do they need to go to the police station of where they are living, say Mumbai or Delhi, or they can go to their hometown, which they may feel more secure? Is there a jurisdiction problem there?
As far as the legal aspect is concerned, yes, there has to be jurisdiction. A crime that has been committed in a particular area needs to be reported in that police station. However, of late, something called a zero FIR or a zero reporting has been instituted, wherein you can be in any part of the country and an incident has occurred and you want to report that to the police. So you can go to any police station and report it. The person in that police station will then transfer it to the police station which has jurisdiction for it. So you don't have to worry about going back to the police station where it had occurred. It gets transferred automatically. So this is something which we call the zero FIR, and it gets transferred. So that is only to help people.
so many new, initiatives that the police have done, which I think need to be brought out to the public. If people like me don't know, I am not sure how many other people would also know. So thank you for sharing that and with our audience. Ma'am, you are already so decorated with such honors and so many medals. What are your dreams and what is your aspiration as far as your career is concerned now?
Well, throughout our conversation, Nidhi, the underlying string has been how to make the public feel that the police are good people. So I want to be remembered even after I have finished my job as a good police woman, someone who can be looked up to, someone who can be approached very easily, and someone who people can say that yes, she's done her job well. I'd like to, I'd like that to happen to me. That is my basic aim in life. That people remember me not as a person only, but as a good policewoman.
Ma'am, I can't tell you that how glad and how humbled I am to actually be from the same school, Loreto Convent Tara Hall, from the same college, St. Bede's, Simla. We are so proud of you. And the honesty and the righteousness at a person at such level is coming across so clearly that our audience are really going to feel it, what you're saying, that to be remembered as a good policewoman officer. It's absolutely humbling, ma'am, and you're such an ideal for all of us. Yours has been a leading example for the mothers as well as the daughters also. The last question, what would be your message be, ma'am, for all the women across India so that they live up their dream, they do not douse their passion and fire within and can reach out for the skies as you have been?
I would put it like that, Nidhi. We all know this is a world made up of two people, man and woman. And we are often at crossroads, and there is a kind of competition which at times becomes unhealthy. And because of that, we keep talking of, various, we have certain acronyms, we have certain uh, terms that we use, like, equality, gender mainstreaming, etc. But my experience has been that if you work truly as a professional and you go anywhere and you do a good job, you are true to that job, then irrespective of whether it is the police, it's the army, or it's anything else more difficult, because each job has its own problems. It has its good and bad points. So if you do a professional job properly, then you don't have to worry about any kind of competition. And that's the way ahead. You will not feel that you're being pulled back. And so the girls, they need to go with this in mind, that if I do a job, I need to do it well, irrespective of what I am, where I am, and whom I'm working with. And for the mothers, I would say that you have brought up your daughters so well. So give them wings and let them achieve what they want to. And I'm sure you will always remain there to guide them through. That is going without saying. It goes that all mothers are there to guide their daughters. So give your child the wings that she wants to go out with, and just help her take her flight.
And you speak so beautifully from the heart that it actually reaches the heart. I can feel it so much as what you're conveying. And I think it is a beautiful message for all the women out there, whether they are mothers or they are daughters. Ma'am, I truly agree with you. I belong to the petrochemical industry, and very few women are there in this industry. But little bit, if I've been able to do my job well, the people around have been really welcoming with open arms for a job well done. They've never made me feel that, no, she's from an outside small town or she's a woman. If you do something well, the accolades or the embellishment really comes. I'm really waiting when the pandemic will open up and we have our conferences back, ma'am. We will have you as our evening speaker, and you will see the leaders of the world. They will give you a standing ovation. For them, we are so glad that you could give us this time, ma'am. Very many congratulations, and you remain to be our ideal. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Nidhi.
Thank you.